Hello everyone. Hello to all of you. Hi students. Good evening. Welcome to Unacademy Bankers Hub. I am Niharika John Mehra. Let me know if you guys are able to see me and hear me. Hello. I'm so glad to see all of you here. I think people are still joining. All good. Okay. Hi, good evening once again. So, students, today we are going to do some questions. These are not pre-level questions, these are typical mains level question. You can keep guessing till the time I tell you. You can guess what topic is it which we are going to do today. Okay, all good. Um, hmm. Let's quickly share the session and do like the session. And those who have not subscribed, you can subscribe it right away. Click that bell icon also so that you will keep getting all the updates. Whenever we do any exercise, we have the PDF or the PDF is shared on Telegram group of Unacademy. Again, the link for the same will be given in description box below. Do check it out. This session is going to be in English. Explanation part is completely in English. I will try to speak a bit slow so that you can understand things nicely. Okay, good evening, good evening. So if you have any of your friend who is not comfortable in Hindi explanation, you can let them know that the session has begun, or maybe even later on you can share with them. Okay, fine. So let's have some more people join in and then we can start our session today. Let me give you some updates. This is with respect to my plus courses which are on Unacademy. All of them are in Hindi explanation, and this is the course right now which is going on. Timing for this one is 1 p.m. where we are targeting three important topics: RC, Parajumble and close test. The other one that will be starting from June 8th is going to be an extensive practice course, mixed question, pre-level, mains level, and timing for this one is going to be 3 p.m. After that, from next to next Monday, that is June 15th, we are starting this very important course. This is descriptive writing course. Okay, and this course is going to be at 1 p.m. The timing will be 1 to 2:30. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me know. Okay. Yes, today there won't be any Hindi word at all. Apart from this, my other sessions are going on, and my sessions are like so these are mock questions. Okay, I am making my students to do timer based practice. I am making students to practice in such a scenario where you have to do it anyhow in time, else you skip it, just like you get in your exam. That's the situation in your exam. So it is a 6-day series, and we are gonna take it like from Monday to, we started from Monday yesterday, we are gonna continue till Saturday 9 p.m. and you can join me on the English workbook. That's my Telegram channel, or my Facebook page. You will get all the details how you can you can enroll in this session and you can connect. It is going to be so amazing, guys, for all of you who haven't experienced till now, because such exercises will help you to know where you are lacking. That will actually show you the mirror. Okay, thank you so much, Swati. Great, those who have already enrolled. Once again, a request: if you haven't shared till now, make sure you share, and those who have already done, thank you so much. So today we are going to do some questions, and these are paragraph completion or passage completion. So I will write it in short: para completion. Whenever you are completing a paragraph, okay, in this sense, you make sure that flow is maintained. Now if I talk about maintaining flow, I'll give you couple of things, couple of pointers, so it will give you better idea. First thing is flow. That means if you have a blank somewhere in between, this is your passage, something is written, then you have a blank, and then you have your passage that continues. This is one of the hardest type, because you have to check this portion, you have to check later on portion, and then you have to select your answer. You will have to see if there is something written before that blank. So is your option according to this thing, or given options could be, or the right answer could be with respect to the thing which is mentioned next to that blank. This is when your blank falls in between of the paragraph, somewhere in between of the paragraph. It is going to be just a 30 minutes, 35-minute session. Secondly, you see some tense related things. Suddenly, if there is an abrupt change of tense, you are talking in past, you are talking in perfect, everything is in perfect tense, and suddenly you get to see future continuous tense. So that kind of abrupt tense change we don't do. Yes, we do change tense, but not like that. If the whole paragraph, like rest of the lines, they are in a specific tense, then of course the missing line should be in the same. So this is something you will be checking. After this, okay, I was telling something over here. If your blank is right in the beginning, like first sentence is missing or last sentence is missing, okay, and now you have to figure out which is the first one and which is the last one. Those who are good at parajumbers, they always find paragraph completion easy. Ultimately, you are selecting one sentence that will give you a coherent paragraph, a coherent passage. And this is something that I have been stressing upon. Do this. This is a very important topic when it comes to mates. So if your first sentence is missing, it is going to be a general sentence. It is going to lead us to next a sentence, whatever is mentioned in the remaining paragraph. If it is last sentence, in that case, it will be concluding above written lines. So have that thought in your mind whenever you are solving such questions. Got it? Then we have third thing, that is about new element. For example, you see a noun. Okay, now in your options, you are seeing some nouns are given. Now these nouns are new. Suddenly you are talking about, let's say for example, you're talking about transportation, and suddenly you get to see it's Madhya Pradesh mentioned in one option. Don't reject that option immediately because Madhya Pradesh is mentioned and you saw that you are talking about transportation in India. It could be something add on. Like what we do is we build a paragraph. We don't keep repeating same things again and again. Otherwise, how our story will go forward? Right? Understanding this? So I will have to add it. So whenever I'm adding a new sentence, that new sentence can have a new element in it. Okay, so just rejecting one option because it is having a new noun in it, it is not fair. Go through it, understand what is being said, and ultimately logic should be there, reasoning should be there that follows. Without this, your paragraph is incomplete. There has to be some logic. Okay, first process happened, then you get to see its impact, and then you get to see its future aspect, right? So there is a natural flow. Read the paragraph, read the question properly, read the options properly, and do it. More about it I will explain when I will give you answers. Okay, 9 p.m. class is there. Swati, we do have 9 p.m. class. Mock test class is there. So shall we begin? I am going to give you timer. This timer is going to be of 60 seconds because in your mains, you can take this much of time for paragraph completion question. Are we clear, all of you? In case there is someone who has not shared till now, please do it. Let's start. Awesome. 60 seconds, fine. Question number one. Okay, this is the right answer. I know this is something that challenges students a lot. Understand how we are seeing and how we are selecting our right answer. These goals are centered around, there are some goals, these goals are centered around a performance or our appearance. Performance and appearance goals are great, but they aren't the same as habits. Now you just see from performance and appearance, it now is coming to habits. First sentence, performance, appearance. From goals, it is shifting to performance, appearance. Performance, appearance in second sentence is shifting to habits. Then there is a blank. But if you are trying to start a new behavior, I am talking about something that is with starting with but, it is in contrast, and it is talking about new behavior. So, what out of all is gonna help me complete this passage? The interior of behavior change and building better habits is your identity. Okay, I am already talking about identity based habits over here. I won't say this thing, okay, at this point. Also, use of your. Am I talking to a second person over here? Am I using you or your anywhere? I am just writing the whole thing as third person would read. Okay, so I'm using they, I, first person, third person is used. Suddenly I cannot use your identity just like I am talking to someone who is right in front of me. So first one is absolutely wrong. I'm gonna take it slow so you understand it properly. The reason why it is so hard to stick to new habits is that we often try to achieve a performance or appearance based goal. Guys, we already are done talking about goals over here. It's done. Now here, but they aren't same as habits. I'm now talking about habits, and habits I'm connecting with behavior. Okay, this is already closed deal. So in this case, I cannot go back to talking about goals. It will be like a mixture over here. So we cannot take it. To change your behavior, again, your behavior, am I talking about someone who is sitting in front of me? I'm not using you and your anywhere else. Our appearance, I, they, I'm not using your. So this is also out. The key to building lasting habits is focusing on creating a new identity first. Again, identity is in the later part of the next sentence. It is only this one which I can use over here. Okay, if you are already doing a behavior, then these types of goals, of course it is before given over here, like before this blank, I can justify that, can help you drive you forward. So here now I am shifting from this habit to behavior, and then in contrast I'm using but and continuing with the new behavior. Now can you understand how we have selected the answer? So you have to understand the given question first, like this given paragraph is to be understood first, and then you select your option. Okay, Vaishnav, I'm Christian. Okay, next one. No. I'm talking about the portion before that. I understood. Suman, I got it. Your and Supriti. Understood. But then that is you are, and then I'm already talking about third person and first person in the previous part of the blank. So I was connecting to that part, not the one that is followed. I'll give you little bit of more time for this one. Lengthy one, na? 15 seconds extra because it's lengthy. But in your exam, make sure this is the highest limit which you can have. Oh, okay. It sounds so simple, but make sure the habits you are trying to stick to are actually important to you. Now you are trying to stick to the habits. Sometimes forgetting your habit is a sign and it's not important to you. So sometimes there is a case one, I would say. Most of the time this isn't true, but it happens often enough that I want to mention it. Now here author is saying there is something and I want to mention it. Okay, then when they don't achieve them, then this is like what is happening next. When they don't achieve them, they beat themselves up. They are not actually beating, they are being harsh on themselves and feel like a failure. So suddenly from mentioning one thing, now scenario after blank is somewhat related to what these people do when they fail. It is remarkable how much time people spend chasing things that they don't really care about. Now, when I'm taking this positive to negative, then I can connect this negative over here. Because if I'm talking about another great way to overcome this hurdle and get back on track is to design your environment for success. How can I suddenly then talk about failure if I'm saying another way? And if there is another way, there has to be some other way which is mentioned before this blank. That's why this is out. Most of us acknowledge that people who surround us influence our behaviors, but the items that surround us have an impact as well. Contextually, I want to mention something. I want to mention something. This is what author is saying. Now he's saying there is something that it happens often enough, not about this thing that happens often enough. Because of this, it is ruled out. Motivation is a fickle beast. Not enough to use over here because suddenly why would I talk about motivation? Okay, it is not even continuing, it is not supporting the previous sentence, it is not the cause, but there is something happening. There is, let's say, event number one or thing number one happening. After this, you have thing number two because we are using this then word. Then is a strong word to help you understand which thing can come where. And here we get to see it is remarkable how much time people are spending chasing things that they don't really care about. Because they don't really care about, when they don't achieve them, they are not able to achieve because they really don't care about. They are casual. They beat themselves up. Now this is the point they fail because they have not paid full attention. They have not given their 100%, because of which they are failing. So this is how the flow is maintained over here. Okay. Next one. Starting timer for all of you. It's fickle beast, not fickle alone. Fickle beast. Okay, that's something um like keeps on changing, no? That kind of element it is. Every time it is new. Thank you so much. Oh, I need to be like this. You are unable to see the question, I think. Time up. Yeah, keeps on changing. Same thing. Unstable keeps on changing. Very good. But it is fickle beast. The whole phrase is used together. Okay, so don't just understand fickle, but things, or you can of course use this phrase for other things, other people also. Anyways, let's come to this one, blank. Now it is at the end of our passage. Take advantage. If it is in the beginning, if it is in the ending, you should always take advantage of it. I know it is very hard when it is somewhere in between. You have to check multiple things. But here, you just need to go through the passage once, and something that could be a sentence giving a proper conclusion or supporting the previous sentence. You have like a handful of options. Most people love to talk about success as an event. So we talk about losing 50 pounds, etc., etc. But the truth is that most of the significant things in life aren't standalone events. But the truth is now from like from this point we are talking something in contrast, but rather the sum of all the moments when we choose to do things 1% better or 1% worse. So something better, something worse. Aggregating these marginal gains makes a difference. What is marginal? 1% is marginal. And what we are saying, we are not focusing on the worst, but we are saying that aggregating these marginal gains, like bits by bits, small things, when you have it all together, little by little, you have it all together, that is what that is making a difference. Okay, so what we are saying, but rather the sum of all moments when we choose to do things 1% better or worse, and this sum is also here that helps us to understand. I'm talking about something which is still I can count on it. I cannot just neglect it. Even if it is 1%, I'm not supposed to neglect it. That's why it is given over here. Oh, see, this has to be the last line because you don't have any line continuing over here. So by default, it becomes the last line of your paragraph. Also, rest of them. By setting a schedule to never miss twice, you can prevent simple errors from snowballing out of control. I'm not talking about things going out of control. I'm talking about moments. I'm talking about how we are doing things. We are choosing to do things. So this is not the right sentence to be used. On a related note, this is why I love setting a schedule. Am I talking about schedule over here? So am I saying when I'm saying on a related note means I have already given one example and now I am giving my own example. This is again not what is happening over here. So often we convince ourselves that change is only meaningful if there is some large visible outcome. So often we convince ourselves. Again, here we have already spoken about, but rather the sum of all the moments when we chose to do things. This is something that is helping us to understand the background of some other thing. I'm not talking about things getting meaningful. I'm not talking about outcomes, but I'm talking about something that has to relate with this previous sentence. Okay, we do have a vocabulary class today that will be at 10:15. It is the compound effect of never getting back on track that causes problems. It is, if I'm saying it is the compound effect, do you think there is something which is a compound effect? Can you justify it is, why I'm using it, for which thing I'm using it, for what I'm using it? That is not clear, so that's why E is also ruled out. This should be there in your mind very quickly. This whole thing should happen very quickly in your mind. Moving on to next one. Yeah. You can't complain, you can just learn how to do it. A frequently asked topic in mains, especially SBI PO and clerk mains. So you need to prepare yourself for the coming exam. Time up. Please, that's not my husband's name. Not every single Mehra you can relate it. His name is not Nikhil Mehra. What is this, guys? The biggest difference noticed between successful people and unsuccessful people is not intelligence or opportunity or resources. A declaration. I'm talking about biggest difference. And that difference is noticed between all these people. We all deal with vulnerability, Now I'm talking about big difference, and suddenly I'm talking about we all deal with vulnerability, uncertainty, and failure. Negative point. Here we are saying there is a huge difference. The biggest difference noticed between these two people, we see it is not intelligence, this or this. So it is the belief. You see, it is not what? It is not intelligence, opportunity, or resources. So what it is, I need to complete the sense of my sentence. And this was easy, guys. This was easy. I know many of you have the correct one. So we have it is not all these three things, but it is that they can make their goals happen. Simple one, easy one, and I think it is easy because now you are getting in flow. That happens in exam also. Okay, so they here, because I'm talking about people, so this they is also justified, and they can do something, they can make their goals happen. That is what is the biggest difference. I get my answer of something I mentioned before this blank. Definitely, this has to be the right answer. Very good. I don't think I need to explain other things, right? Because this is there's nothing else that is quite near to what our right answer is. Let's move on to the next one. 60 seconds. Thank you so much, Kanchi. Time up. There are many ways to implement a margin of safety in everyday life. Okay, so there are many ways. A general start is already given to us. The core idea is to protect yourself from unforeseen problems and challenges, okay? But between what you expect to happen and what could happen, by building a buffer between what you are expecting that could take place and what could happen. Okay, so now I need to complete this. This mental model, can I say the whole thing like a model, like having a buffer, building a buffer? Can I name it as this mental model? Because this thing, expectation, what could happen and what you expect, this is all happening in mind. So it is a mental model. I can say this word, okay? Is widely useful on a day to day basis because uncertainty, this is uncertainty, what you are expecting and what could happen, this is uncertainty. Because you are not sure, you can relate with uncertainty creeps into every area of life. So this is useful that we have this buffer in our mind that okay, some things can happen, some things can not happen as I expected. This model will help us in day to day basis, on day to day basis, because uncertainty can creep in, can come into our lives in any area of our lives at any point of time. So this completes the meaning of the given passage. E. Why E is wrong? Somebody asked me E, Vijay. When strength training, you can utilize a margin of safety by finishing each set with at least one repetition. Why I am talking about strength training? I'm talking about problems, challenges, I'm talking about abstract nouns over here. I'm talking about an idea, everything related to mind. Then why would I suddenly talk about strength training? If one is out, of course, all our correct is also out. If you are always running late, out of many things, running late could be one of the problems, but I cannot connect it no suddenly over here because I need to conclude the passage. What I said, where is the location of your blank? It is at the end of your passage. It should be concluding. It should not give rise to more questions. If you use this one or this one or this one, it will give you more questions. Okay, I'm running late now, what should I do? I mean, it is not satisfactory here at this position to conclude what is written over here. Yeah. Next one. Even after we are done, I really request you guys keep sharing the session. If you really feel that I have helped you guys in understanding the topic, I have this request to all of you, do share. It's about understanding. Time up. Surprisingly, B is the answer. Any, okay, not specific, any incremental spending focus should shift to the construction sector, rural housing and infrastructure. So first sentence suggests that how should be the focus, okay, spending focus, it should shift to this one. That means probably it was there on something else. Higher allocation, okay, spending focus, allocation, same thing. And steps to boost this sector are needed. This sector, which one? Construction sector, are needed as it is likeliest to absorb labor after agriculture. Yes, after agriculture, this is going to be the sector where we can have more laborers, we can provide more work to those who are unemployed. This is what it is said over here. Even with a lower share in GDP, it employs more workers, absorb labor, more workers. Can you see the flow? You're talking about spending focus, you're talking about allocation, you're talking about this sector, you are getting this sector over here. And after agriculture, construction sector, this sector is the one where we can have more labor so we can generate employment. And this is what is given in the next sentence. Understanding now? Hey guys. Okay, I think you have understood. This is a key characteristic. I cannot say because this is a suggestion. Should this cannot be a characteristic? Characteristic is already there. It should not be there. So these measures. Where are the measures? Am I talking about measures? Not relevant. So many things you can just eliminate directly just by reading first portion of it. Making this the last question. Time up. C is the right answer. Surprisingly, the survey is not too concerned about surplus financial savings. Financial savings should be there, flowing out from banks to the capital market. So, survey is not too concerned about something. That is what I'm getting. A concern. Here I'm talking about getting concerned. Here I'm talking about concern. So, some other way, this concern factor should reflect in my sentence. This is interesting. Is it something concern that I can say this is interesting because at present our investment and savings rates are both declining? A concern everywhere now is that as the market appears to be overvalued and is due for a correction. So if rates, you are talking about investments and you are talking about savings, while you are only talking about savings here, you should talk about other things also, right? And this is interesting, not the right phrase to use, because the preceding sentence is not justified over here by the word interesting. Anecdotally, high current account deficit can create a different set of problem. Why would I talk about creating and why would I talk about account deficit suddenly over here? Gives no right option. Okay, no, it is this word anecdotal is adjective. Anecdotally is this word is adverb. In Hindi, it means vastavikta mein. This has been taken to be a positive fallout of demonetization where funds have been directed to the market. Yes, I am introducing a new point over here of demonetization, but that is at least relevant to what we are saying here. The survey is not too much concerned about all the surplus financial savings flowing out from the banks to the capital market. This whole thing of flowing out, this has been taken to be a positive fallout of positive result of demonetization, where funds have been directed to the market, from banks to the market, directed to the market. Supporting sentence is what you are getting here. I hope you are understanding. So yes, I have just told you the meaning. Now these returns are linked. What kind of returns I'm talking about? These returns. Am I talking about any kind of returns over here in the preceding sentence? No. So this is also out. So these were some questions. Be ready. In mains, you will get to see so many questions based on comprehension. 9 p.m. we are having mock test. So today is June 2. We are going to have mock test like of 45-50 minutes. Be there on time. It is on Unacademy special class. Join me on the English workbook if you want more details of sessions, when they are happening and on which platform they are happening. And those who are now planning, see, lockdown almost so many places now, they are lockdown free. Lockdown, they have lifted it. So this is the time, I think soon we will be getting to hear some or the other announcement with respect to our exams. Don't wait, don't think that okay, when notification will come then we will study. Time is always something we should be having in our hands as a competitive exam aspirant. So use this opportunity, use this time, study, make a study plan, be safe at home and study. You can use this code NGM10, that will give you additional 10% off, and think about it. Gonna see you tomorrow. Very interesting topic for tomorrow. It's based on something which you don't get to see very often, but I will be revealing it tomorrow only. Okay, see you here at 8 p.m. tomorrow, and today 9 p.m. I will be seeing you on Unacademy.